Well, well. Um, I am godsmacked. I mean, I shouldn't be godsmacked because this is just how Chelsea are at the moment. We shouldn't be surprised at this result. But I haven't watched the game in 5 or 6 games because I have been just generally busy. And at the moment, with Chelsea the way they are, I'm not going to change my plans just to watch a game. But unfortunately, I was free tonight. I had nothing to do. So I had to watch this game. And it makes me want to not watch another game again. As my thing says, Chelsea get battered everywhere they go. Simple as that. Um, we were we had our pants pulled down, and we've just been bummed in the arse by Arsenal, and potentially giving them a chance to win the title. I hope they won't, but potentially giving them hope. And we go further down into mediocrity. We won't get relegated before anyone starts that nonsense, but not a very good result at all. I am joined by the wonderful Alfred, who is the only one that managed to make it on time or survive that match. Alfred, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, man. I'm very disappointed. As you said, I don't know why we're surprised. I guess we just keep hoping that some fight is going to come from somewhere from this Chelsea team because we know we got the kind of players that can produce it, and especially in a game against Arsenal. I honestly thought that we would be a lot more up for it. But as you said, absolutely rammed in the ass, completely prison style, and fucking embarrassing. Showed some fight towards the end, and I honestly thought maybe there was a glimmer of hope for one of the craziest Premier League comebacks that you've ever seen, just because it's the Premier League. But I was kidding myself in the end because it's Chelsea, and unfortunately, yeah, I have no business hoping for anything like that from us at the moment. So, yeah, very disappointed.
Yes, very disappointing. I mean, big up to all the 30 people that are listening to this stream at late at night after a terrible result. It's good that you guys can give us some happiness by tuning in. Big up to Mully, Danny Music, Mo, Reese James Kingdon, Anissa Khan, Blue Army SW6, Vincent, uh, Connor Pinarona Sonocora. What a name. Barry as well. Thank you for all joining in and continue to leave your comments down below, and we will answer some of them later on in the stream. Alfred, I mean, you expect we had to just put up some fight, and really we didn't. We've kind of
Yeah.
made that quite clear.
Mm.
Um, to go down, I mean, the fact that I have to go, it wasn't quite Newcastle Spurs to try and get some positives
Mm.
is madness. But it may as well have been because I don't understand. We were so passive. It was like Arsenal take the ball. We're just going to sit back and wait for you to score. Then we're just going to give you the ball again and wait back for you to score again. It felt like Chelsea were just in a defensive training drill and Arsenal were the attacking team.
Yeah,
I just
that's exactly.
what can you understand? I just don't. I don't understand it.
Oh, the season's over, man. They know it. They feel it. They just don't care anymore. Nothing to fight for anymore. I mean, you would have hoped that they would have at least showed some pride in a derby for the fans, but now, as you said, uh, sloppy passes, constantly losing the ball, no effort. Even when we had some decent opportunities to score, just terrible effort in crosses, and yeah, everything was just all over the place until, as we said earlier, almost at the very end with about half an hour left, we He scored one. Congratulations to Madueke, by the way, for that goal. He deserved it. Um, very, very dedicated performance tonight. I was very happy with his performance, and perhaps if everybody else would have shown the same fucking kind of dedication as he did today, we might have actually seen a much more enjoyable game. But it was not the case. Everybody was friggin' disgusting, um, including Sterling, who's a player that I actually really, really like, and I just wish that he would get his head out of his ass as well for this game, but did not happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think Madueke was decent enough. I'm not going to say he was fantastic because he wasn't. I think he's a very raw player, and there are things that need to be improved in his game. But you're right, Alfred. He did show at least some fight and some determination to try and get the ball up top, to try and give the ball. I mean, Aubameyang, I'm not even gonna. I'm not going to particularly slag him off because he hasn't played for God knows how many months, starting
Yeah.
wise, and it wasn't that the fact that he was bad. Just no one, no one gave him the ball. Alicia Keys, no one gave him the ball. Apart from Madueke made that one pass to him, which again shows Madueke's rawness a little bit because it was way over hit and Aubameyang couldn't make control of it.
Yeah.
But even then, you saw the determination for Aubameyang to try and get the ball before it went off. But Aubameyang just didn't have nothing up there. And maybe if Sterling or one of the midfielders could even have an ounce of fight in them, they would have potentially got the ball to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang might have done something more. But yeah, I think Madueke's got some stuff to learn. But in a time where the season is over, there is no expectation from the fans. Let the Maduekes, let the Mudriks play. Screw it. Let Carney Chukwuemeka have a game or two.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at that midfield of Enzo, Kovacic, and Kante, who, don't get me wrong, are all good midfielders. And I don't think Enzo was particularly bad tonight. He just is suffering with the rest of the shit, and he's going down to their level. But to have a whole midfield containing all three of them, it just doesn't make sense. It's so defensive. Where is the apart from Enzo doing long balls, where there's no creativity in that midfield at all. Kovacic is nowhere, and there's nowhere for the goal as well. Kante is just running about doing nothing. He's just clocking up miles for stats, kilometre stats. All I kept looking was thinking, why can't Lampard just play one of them, one of Kante or Kovacic next to Enzo, and just play an attacking midfielder in that role? Play someone like an Odegaard in that role. Whether it's João Felix, who, by the way, I don't understand why he was just suddenly dropped tonight. Whether it's Carney Chukwuemeka or someone just like that. Heck, you can even, if you really wanted to still play Sterling, you could put Mudryk into attacking midfield and let him roam a little bit. Havertz, you've got plenty of players you can try and play in attacking midfield. So at least give us something. You'd expect a midfielder of Lampard's caliber to at least understand that you need a good number 10 sometimes. And I don't get why we're just playing with such a limp midfield, which is the basis to all of our problems. But I don't want to actually, I don't even want to moan about Lampard too much because we know he's not good enough. I said that. I think we've both kind of said it from the moment he come in. So I don't think it's fair to put this on Lampard because there is only one place that this blame needs to go to, and it's the players. I see people in the comments blaming Lampard. I see people in the comments blaming this ownership. This ownership don't step on the pitch and create these dreadful performances week in, week out. It's these players. These players who are supposed to be good players. There are World Cup winners on this pitch, former World Cup winners on this pitch, Champions League winners on this pitch. There is no excuse that the players can make for these poor performances. They cannot hide behind an owner. They cannot hide behind a manager no more. And I think it's it's funny that there is more blame on the manager and the players. The manager and the owner in this comment section than players. And I'm not going to call out individual players really because too much because they're all, for me, apart from Silva and Madueke, they're all just as bad as each other, really, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna keep on repeating that sort of thing, like you just said. That managers and owners, like you said, they're not the ones on the pitch missing chance after chance. Even under Potter, he got all the criticism that he got. I don't care what anybody says. I feel like in more games than not, we actually created many chances in all of our games that that should have been enough to win those games, right? Now, if those chances go in and those attackers score and on form, nobody talks about how bad Potter is or how bad the owners are. Guaranteed, next season, if we're fucking challenging for the Premier League, God willing, a lot to ask for at the moment, I know, but it's the Premier League and it's Chelsea. Let's just, hypothetically, if it happens, um, there's not going to be any of this friggin' manager talk or ownership talk because all the focus will be on how the players are doing, right? How well the players are playing. And it always is. When a team is doing well, it's always all about the players. I don't think, people who really know their football and analyze all aspects, yeah, they'll look at what the manager's doing and what ownership has done to change things around and get results. Fair enough, but most people, most football watchers will just be talking about how good this player was or how good that player was at the end of a 6-0 win. They won't be talking about how good the manager was most of the time. That's what pisses me off about this whole thing. It's so fucking annoying. Managers and owners getting the blame because players miss chance after chance after chance in games. Mate, if these attackers scored half of the chances uh, that we got under Graham Potter, he would still be here now, and nobody would be talking about how bad Potter is because we'd be getting results. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's laughable that when you're winning, you don't you don't particularly praise ownership at all. You do praise a manager to an extent, but that will quickly fade away when it comes to thing. And then
Yeah,
apart from individual people defending slash attacking individual players, because that will happen whether you're winning or losing. There is such a lack of blaming players and blaming a team in general. You'll get people saying, "Oh, we're shit, but it will always come down to, "Oh, we're shit because of the owners, or we're shit because of the manager." Have some have For once, we need to blame players and properly blame players. Yes, managers have made mistakes, and maybe yes, both managers that we've had this season, replacing Tuchel, have not been good enough. Um, but that's only a portion of the blame. The owners are even a smaller portion of the game of the blame, really, because again, they don't have any control apart from in terms of the actual games themselves, apart from hiring the actual people that hire the people on the pitch. That's it. So they even have, in terms of the actual game by game, they have even smaller amount of blame blame in terms of a game by game thing has to solely go onto the players and then a portion on the manager. Of course, you can talk about what tactics Lampard used or what tactics Lampard didn't use, which was not good enough. But I don't care what tactics you put out there. If the players ain't got the fight for it, it's the players' fault. You could have Pep Guardiola tactics out there, and these players would still do shit because they're not fighting. There is no fight in this team. They're rubbish. So we need to blame players and call these players out. And the thing is, we can't forget this season, because if we play well, if say we do, let's take Alfred's opinion and get top four and win the league or win the Champions League or something stupid like that, because that's a typical Chelsea thing. How quickly people will forget about these players. I mean, I've watched it before, 15, 16. How quickly people forgave your Hazards, your Fabregases, your Costas, and more. I'm not going to name all of them, apart from Willian, who wasn't. But how
Pedro,
they completely threw Mourinho under the bus. How quickly they were forgiven was, for me, at the time, I got slagged off for it because I was slagged off in person and online for not backing these players. But you've got to earn my trust, and at the moment they've completely obliterated my trust so much because they've obliterated my trust so much that I'm not going to trust majority of these players. I can see some individual players have some quality. I do not blame Thiago Silva for this, because I think even in this poor season, Thiago Silva has saved us countless times.
Yeah.
And does not deserve. If Thiago Silva said, "I'm gone at the end of the summer," I do not blame him. I do not blame him at all for just going to play somewhere else, because he doesn't deserve to be in a shit team like this. And apart from a couple of the younger players and some of the players that have just come in and necessarily haven't really had you can't really come into a shit team like this and breed an impact. I can't. There's a lot of players I can't ever forgive ever for this performance. I might not mention it, but it will always be in my mind that these players are embarrassing. These players, when the tough gets tough, they don't want to fight. When it doesn't go their way, they don't want to fight. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And these are not just your guys on 300k a week. It's your academy players, the guys that are supposed to know what the badge is. The badge is over there, by the way. They're supposed to know what Chelsea is. They bleed blue. Fuck me. You bleed. You. That's ridiculous. No, you do not bleed blue. The way some of these academy players play when they come on a pitch, you don't bleed blue. You don't try. You do not try. You do not care. I don't want to hear this shit, because I've seen from this season, quite frankly, that they do not care. And I'm not having. If in terms of the ownership, if we want to have a discussion of individually stuff outside of the games themselves, of what Bowley has done right, what Bowley has done wrong, I'm well up for a debate, and I will be able to at least give explanations for certain mistakes that the owners have made that we should be a little bit more easy on. But these owners have not been dreadful, and the fact that people compare these to the Glazers, and what I'm going to mention, all these people that have been saying in the recent weeks, "Oh, we should have got Jim Ratcliffe." Well, that is absolutely stinking in the front of people's faces now. Jim Ratcliffe wants to join the Glazers and ruin United, which actually is a good thing. I reckon he's doing that on purpose. Good old Chelsea fan, Jim Ratcliffe is. But yeah, it's embarrassing. We need to blame these players. We can't let these players off the hook once again. Welcome to the main man, Stig, turning up 20 minutes late, and the only one apart from me and Alfred that bothered turning up.
The king has returned.
Apologies. to film for Chelsea Fan TV, had to film for the other channel, Sid TV. But I'm here. Took me 20 minutes.
Part-time owner now. You're worse than Bowley.
I'm moving at Todd Bowley, people. But yeah, it's weird because I don't know. I felt like in the first half we did try, but there was no. I honestly saw the effort, but there was no chemistry. There's no confidence. There's no tactics. Nothing.
Sadiq, all I saw was we just sat back and just thought Arsenal will attack us and we'll try and defend you.
No, come on, that's a bit harsh.
It is. Name a chance in the first half.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know, man.
We just sat back. We were so passive. We might have worked semi-hard in times of trying to defend it. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can sit back and defend a lead like that. And
we won the second half at least.
Oh, I don't give a shit if we won the second half. How many points did we get in the game?
We won the second half, Alfred. I'm doing your positivity.
Hey, look, man, I'm not going to lie. I actually, it was unrealistic, but I was actually feeling maybe one of them crazy Premier League comebacks, especially when you consider all the 2-goal leads that Arsenal have let go recently. I was thinking maybe, oh, come on, Chelsea, just give us one thing. Give us this one thing, please, just to smile about at the end of this season. Just ruin Arsenal's title hopes by coming back from 3-0 down. But that would have been amazing. One of the best comebacks, I reckon, in Premier League history, considering our form. But unfortunately, it was not to be.
But why was everyone writing us off after 3-0, saying it's going to be 7, 8?
Bro, because they already had 3 and they just kept on coming and coming and coming. It just felt like it was going to be a fucking.
Let's be honest a little bit. The only reason it wasn't more was because Arsenal just sat back a little bit more in the second half and just.
No, they tried. They were trying hard.
They sat back and thought, let's just play on the counter attack a little bit, and their counter attack didn't really work as well. But even then, they could have scored. If it wasn't for Thiago Silva, that would have been 4.
Yeah, but you had Saka shooting.
There were some saves. There were saves from Kepa that could have been 5, 6, 7.
That's what I'm saying. They were trying so hard.
But they were trying in terms of on the counter, but they sat back and allowed us to have a bit more control of the game.
And there was a chance.
It wasn't Sadiq. It's not like we forced them back. They chose themselves to sit back because they're 3-0 up. It's chill. They don't have to worry too much.
They had a chance also when who was it? Was it Kante when he was defending and he tried to kick it away and I think he missed. And they couldn't capitalize. Luckily, I think Kepa made a save from that. But yeah, that was another close one as well. And then, as you said as well, Matt, that Silva off the line. So, and apart from those, even before they got their goals, they fucking could have had 2 or 3 before the first goal. So. Can't really blame people for expecting an absolute smashing by the end of the game. I'm glad it wasn't, thankfully. That I'm not going to lie. This is going to sound stupid, but that fucking feels like a win for me in the end. 3-1.
Don't let your standards drop that much.
This is 3-0 at half time. Oh, I mean, sorry, not even at half time. I think in the first half an hour. Fuck, you take 3-1 right there and then you take it and run.
We'll be back, man. We'll be back, guys. Look, this season just needs to end.
In a few years, yeah, maybe.
3 years.
I don't think we'll win a title in a few years. I think.
Yeah, but it'll be better next season, man.
Why not next year?
Yeah, we'll get top. We'll probably get top 6 next season.
Top 6.
Maybe Conference League.
That's harsh, man. I think Poch will get the best out of us.
No, Poch will steady the ship.
Is he a yes man?
Is he coming or what?
No, I don't believe this whole yes man bollocks.
I do. I think it's a yes man.
No, I don't think. What is a yes man?
A yes man is basically
No one
where.
can actually describe properly what a yes man is.
So a yes man is basically where you have no say, especially around the players, transfers, players coming in. So like it was on the Roman, where we had certain targets. That's a
So
yes man.
technically, every manager under Roman was a yes man.
Well, we had managers start to call out the board eventually, or sent indirects when it wasn't going their way. So your Mourinho's, your Ancelotti's.
They took a lot of time to do that. So originally they were yes.
Conte took 1 year. Conte took less than a year.
Yeah, but Conte's an anomaly. Let's ignore Conte. Conte is Conte. We all know what Conte's like. But technically, you have Mourinho's and that they waited a fair bit of time before they called out boards eventually, and that was only when they knew the writing was on the wall.
Would you say Mourinho was a yes man? I wouldn't say that because Roman asked him, "Did you want Ronaldinho?" And he said, "No, I want Drogba."
If you look at most systems and most organized football clubs, most managers don't have a lot of say. They get some sort of "do you like this player" kind of thing, but it's all down to the recruitment. It's all down to the technical football. This is why you have technical directors, recruitment stuff. By the way, which this is going to kind of throw the yes man thing out of it. The rumours are we're potentially getting Paul Mitchell as a sporting director, who is someone that Poch has worked with very well in the past. So wouldn't that be a thing of he's not a yes man then?
But we had the same with Graham Potter though.
He's bringing in someone he works well with.
But we had the same with Graham Potter though. We brought in his guys from Brighton.
Yeah, so they could work well. But if an owner really wanted a yes man, he'd have his own people in, not people that would just work well with the manager. Have his own people in and go, you're going to work with them people whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but it happened to Potter. We saw Mudryk. He had no clue about Mudryk. Like,
not every player knows about. I mean, no one had a clue about Mudryk apart from Arsenal players. Arsenal. You guys didn't know who Mudryk was before December.
I swear to God, I didn't. Right, and especially when I saw how old he was, and then we spent 100 million on him.
Before the rumours, did any of you know Madueke existed?
No.
Rubbish.
On FIFA.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The fact that you only know it from FIFA is just saying something. But my point is, every manager, apart from your Peps, your Klopps, maybe even Klopp doesn't really have a say.
Doesn't
he? Just gets given a budget and goes, well, is there any players you particularly? There will be conversations, and I guarantee there'll be people like if Harry Kane comes in the summer, you're going to tell me Poch didn't want Harry Kane? They're going to get players that he wants.
No, of course. That obviously. I mean,
that's the point. You've got to look at it in an aspect of, there's going to be things that the owners are going to want to take control of and the directors are going to take control of, but that's just a thing that runs in football clubs. At the end of the day, a coach, and that's what Poch is going to be, a coach, is there to do the tactics. What team gets put out in front of him is technically not in his job role anyway. That is the job. They can choose to work well with the recruitment staff, and of course there will be. Don't forget, owners will sign things off in terms of players, but Todd Bowley's not there in every single meeting going, oh, what stats make Mudryk look good for Chelsea? Blah 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 blah. That's all Vivell, Lawrence Stewart, and the rest of them that will discuss with the manager. The recruitment staff and the manager discuss what type of profile player they want. The recruitment staff will get a list of players that fit that profile. Poch will go, oh, I like this player. I don't really like this player so much. Blah, 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 blah. recruitment staff will look at it, make an overall decision, put a list in place, then we bid for that list. That's not a yes man. That's just a group of people working together. And I don't see what's the problem with that. The fact that at the moment, the deal hasn't been agreed, Poch hasn't just gone, yeah, I want the job. Poch is going, well, actually, I don't want so much interference in the dressing room. I want, and he's got demands of himself. So that just proves straight away that he's not a yes man. Otherwise, he would have signed the contract right now. And it would have been agreed. He wouldn't have
happening? What's actually happening with the situation?
He wouldn't have a whole weekend of talks, and it still not be completely done and dusted if he was a yes man. He would have just signed the thing straight away. He's got his own demands. He wants his own demands. And I think Bowley, of course, Bowley want someone that they can work well with, but someone who they can work well and communicate well with doesn't mean he's a yes man. It just means he's a good, relatable person in terms of management and employees. At the end of the day, yes, he's a manager, but he's still an employee of Bowley. So Bowley has the final say in everything because he is ultimately the owner of the club. He's investing £3-4 billion into this club.
Johnny Minerals would like a word with you soon.
Oh, I'd love to debate Johnny Minerals and debate his nonsense. Unfortunately, he just times me out on his.
Did he time you out?
Well, one of him or his minions timed me out for just putting a difference of opinion.
Wow. He still follows me on Instagram, weirdly.
Yeah, because he's just an idiot.
He unfollowed me on Twitter, but he has me on Instagram. It's a bit weird. Anyway, maybe he thinks you're a brown envelope.
But yeah, I just said, drink my tears, bruv. Timing me out because of different opinions. Johnny's got his own brown envelopes. Only difference is they're not full of money, full of shit.
Oh man.
I mean, it's like the thing with Johnny is he calls out all this brown envelope shit with Matt Law, Athletic, whoever. But then when something negative comes out about Bowley or positive comes out about Mount, suddenly the brown envelope he wants to believe. Hang on a minute. If he's a brown envelope, he's a brown envelope. You shouldn't believe a brown envelope.
Can he be a brown envelope on certain topics?
No, he's not. No, it's not. He's a brown envelope when he sees something that he doesn't agree with, in his personal opinion, and he's just trying to shape it in his echo chamber. Exactly. God of Frogs is right. Johnny hangs around with people who won't call him out when he's talking a load of crap, which is 99.9% of the time. Big up to
some of the things recently he said quite decent.
Like what?
This ain't the proper Chelsea, you know. What we've seen this season, it's not proper Chelsea. Doesn't feel Chelsea way.
Yeah, I think anyone could say that in multiple words. It's not a big revelation. I mean, we've basically said that these Cobham players who are supposed to bleed blue are not bleeding blue.
That's very true, man. A lot of these players need to leave. Bro.
But even he's come out and said today, or in a chat, in a post, saying we cannot blame these players. What do you mean we can't blame these players? These players go on this pitch week in, week out and put shameful performances in. How can we not blame these players?
Yeah, Alfred.
It's a shameful opinion.
Fuck off, Sadiq.
Yeah, Alfred.
Bullshit. Don't even try.
Yes, Mully, we are disappointed with Nippon as usual, turning up 34 minutes late and not even having a connection. Nippon, was you at the Arsenal game? Was that why you're so late?
No, I was at the gym.
Nippon was in the Arsenal end saying Chelsea get battered everywhere we go.
Okay, I was at the gym.
Why was you at the gym?
Proof? Here's your proof. Here's your proof.
Why were you at the gym, Nippon?
Working out all the, rage working out, taking out all my anger at Chelsea. because they're so shit. Taking out all my anger on all that gym equipment.
Fair enough. Nippin, are we
Yeah.
going to get relegated? Because you said we're going to get relegated.
Nah, that was just in the heat of the moment.
Okay.
Of course, we're not going to get relegated.
I was just checking because.
Twitter Nippon and real Nippon are two different things.
Okay, that's fine. Because I was just
People
saying.
people lose their heads on Twitter.
When you said it, I looked at the table and was like, the 18th place needs 10 points to catch us, I think, or bottom.
Can we actually get relegated?
No, we
No.
can't, Sadiq. There's too many teams below us. Too many teams that are 5 or 6 points away from us with 4 games to go, and they've all got to play each other. So they're going to trip up over each other. Too many teams will trip over each other on the way through.
But is it mathematically we're out of the relegation thing?
We're not mathematically out in terms of points, but because other teams have to play each other in that zone, they're going to take enough points off each other to make it mathematically impossible. I mean, if you look at Everton have got to play Wolves, I think. Leeds have got to play Bournemouth, or the other way around. It might be the other way around. Bournemouth have got to play other teams. Leicester have got to play other teams. And West Ham have got to play other teams in that zone. So they're not gonna fit. And the other day, I mean, Everton have got Man City and Newcastle. So they're not gonna get points from that. Southampton, I don't think, can catch us. So you're not gonna get enough people out there. We could drop to a 15th, 16th potentially, but we won't.
Yeah. So basically, Tuchel saved us. The one that Alfred says, Tuchel wasn't that guy, basically.
Towards the end, he wasn't, but not because of him, because of the players, which is what I was always trying to say.
But the issues were behind the scenes from the summer.
Yeah, that's not Tuchel's problem. That's the players' problem on the pitch. Ignore the fucking problems that are backstage and all that shit. Do your fucking job on the pitch when you go there, when you play.
But if your manager has issues with off issues,
I don't give a shit.
It's not gonna be 100%.
I don't give a shit. At the amount of money they make, you don't friggin' piss and moan because you're a little bit unhappy about something that's going on.
Yeah, but you have to get motivated from the manager. You can't just turn up.
No, that's a bit. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I agree with Sadiq to a point. I think with the amount of things that have come out, obviously we don't know the information, and the information we've got now, yeah, it does look like Tuchel was a stupid sacking. But with some of the people that have found out the information have said that it's what Tuchel's done is very unforgivable and would be sacked by any circumstance. Obviously, something's gone on, and we will never properly find out. That's the problem. We are looking at an idea of we're only seeing about 50% of the picture. We're not seeing 100% of the picture. And if we do see what happened behind the scenes, we might, even if you might not completely agree with Bowley's decision, you might understand it a bit more. I think it was probably a wrong decision, but I think it's more of a wrong decision because we didn't pick the right man behind it rather than we sacked the man. Personally, I think Bowley has made mistakes, and that's probably one. But I don't think he's the sole blame for this season. And I don't think the managers are either, because at the end of the day, the players go on the pitch and put on these performances week in, week out.
Yeah. We just have to forget about this season, people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to criticize Lampard too much because we all know. We've said this 2 years ago when Lampard got sacked that he wasn't good enough. But it's not changed.
He got us top 4.
Yes, well done, but we're not going over these debates again.
You get a trophy for finishing top 4.
Lampard is not. Lampard, yeah, exactly.
You got with the worst squad.
But Sadiq, my point is that Lampard is not a good coach. We know that, so there's no point on dwelling over it for hours and hours on streams. So let's just focus at the real point is that these players are not good enough and have been embarrassing, and that this season should never be forgotten in Chelsea fans' minds. It will be, but it should never be.
I won't forget it.
Yeah,
Never.
Yes. No, but Nippin, if we're winning the league, you're going to go, oh, look how great these players are.
No.
Maybe you'll praise the manager. League.
If we win the league
and
next season,
you won't-
I will
and-
not forget the season.
No, but Nippin,
This season of hell.
Yeah, but let me finish this. You'll praise the players, 95%. You'll praise the manager a little bit. You won't make any praise about the owner. You'll just go quiet on the criticism. As soon as Chelsea play bad again, sack the manager. Bowley's a fool, and hardly any blame of the players.
No, I'm backing these owners.
Thank you, Nippin. Oh yeah, can we actually look at that in an aspect of how classless these Arsenal fans are? Lasers in Mudrik's eyes, booing Mudrik when he come onto the pitch. I'm sorry, but just because someone turned you down, you're gonna boo him. Like, are you that salty?
Have you noticed how none of the away fans booed Jorginho?
Even when he celebrated.
Did he score?
No, but he celebrated like crazy.
Yeah.
Why
I was
did
in-
he celebrate though?
Man was fist pumping, Nippin.
Look, I'm not a classless fan.
We know, Nippin. We know.
We know he support Tottenham.
He supports Tottenham. That's where he's gone. Oh, Nippin's got problems again.
Might have
Thank
muted
you,
himself.
Thank you, Nippin, for coming. Even though you've faltered once again, at least you turned up, unlike the rest of the panel. Carlito, fraud Matt from Australia, fraud KJ from South Africa. I know Wayne's got a proper reason, so I won't call him a fraud. Fraud Sindra from Scandinavian country that I do not know off the top of my head.
Norway.
Fraud,
Norway, bro.
huh?
He's Norway.
Norway.
Norway, fraud Norway. And yeah, fraud ads just because ads is a fraud, along with Father Ali and obviously fraud Rose as well.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Come on the stream.
Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah,
It's lagging.
my dad called me, so it's not easy streaming on a phone.
What did he say?
He's probably
You
wondering
say-
where I am.
Yeah, did he say come home, Nippin? Come home.
Yeah, he can wait. He can hold that. 5
Oh
minutes.
man, bad man,
Ooh.
Nippin. Your dad's gonna come over and smack you.
He'd have to come all the way to a car park.
It's great that you didn't put your location. That's good.
Guys,
And then he's gonna tell us off again.
yeah, do you remember you told us off?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mate. What do we need to do to change this, guys, man?
What do we need to do? We need to get rid of 14, 15 players.
But we
And
spent
that's
a
not-
lot of money.
And that no, we don't need to get that much in. We need to get rid of 14, 15 players. Buy 3 or 4 more players, tops. I do not want more than 3 or 4 players. Excluding obviously the ones that will come in that have already been bought. So your Gustos and your Santos. I mean, for me, Lavia, I would bring in Lavia, a defensive midfielder. I would bring in, obviously, Nkuku's coming in anyway. Gusto's coming in anyway. Santos, and I'd probably go all out for Harry Kane.
Yeah, Harry Kane definitely, but it's just whether we will actually do business with them.
But I would leave. I'd leave it there. I wouldn't sign anyone else. Maybe a goalkeeper if you can sell one of our goalkeepers on and bring another goalkeeper in.
Do we keep Aubameyang?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately. We've absolutely ruined Aubameyang this season. I actually do have some semblance of sorry for him because he didn't have to come. He could have stayed at Barcelona and probably would have got more game time, ironically, even with Lewandowski in front of him.
You think he's a better striker than Lewandowski?
No, that's why I said even with Lewandowski playing in front of him, he'd still get more game time than he did at Chelsea.
Okay.
But my point would be, yeah, I'd keep Aubameyang if he wants to play backup and still be a part of the squad.
It's
But-
still
Apologies for being
ridiculous.
off camera, by the way.
That's fine, but I don't think he'll stay. So
It's still fucking ridiculous that we left him out of the Champions League squad. I'll never
Yeah.
understand that decision, man.
That's your
It's-
Potter, by the way.
well, that's because Potter just didn't get up for one
This
reason
guy,
or another.
man.
Didn't really get on with him. Wasn't going to play him.
Alfred.
But we need to get rid of
Always.
14, 15 players.
Yeah.
I mean, I could reel them off if you wanted to, but
Guys,
it'd be
I
too long.
keep lagging on one bar. I'm gonna disappear. Matt, don't waste your time, bro. We come back stronger next season. Alfred, nip in. I'll catch you lot, man. I'm lagging so much. Am I lagging?
Are you all right to us?
Yeah.
You seem fine, Sadiq. Honestly.
Oh, mine keeps coming as one bar for some reason.
You're coming at one bar, but you're not. It's not translating to lag.
Oh, it's calm. Yeah, man. It's scary.
I just wanted to say as well, like if we don't get rid of a lot of players, Matt, like you very correctly said that we should, that's going to be an even bigger problem for us next season than it was this season, because this season we actually had more. We had Champions League where we could play players in, more matches in a week to play and stuff like that. Now there'll be less opportunities for these fucking 50 billion players that we've got in the team. There's going to be less opportunity now. So
To be fair, let's kind of go through it now. I mean, I would get rid of one of Mendy or Kepa. And I would say, depending on who's easier to get rid of. I wouldn't have a discrimination against that because I think they're both as useless as each other. Left backs, I'd probably just keep both left backs because I don't think we're going to get rid of Cucurella Rizzi, and Chilwell is good, not a problem. Defenders, I'd sell Koulibaly on. It's back to Italy. I'd bring Colwell in, keep the defence as it is. Right backs, Azpilicueta can go. Bring in Gusto, simple as. Midfield, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, gone. Conor Gallagher, gone. Mason Mount, gone. Kovacic, gone. Kante can stay if he signs a contract, of course. Bring in Lavia, bring in Santos. Maybe put Chukwuemeka on loan, Hutchinson on loan. Pulisic gone. Ziyech gone. Havertz gone. Broja on loan.
Bro, on loan.
Yeah, Broja can go on loan. Get some game time back in the legs. If Aubameyang wants to go. I don't know whether I've missed anyone. Obviously, bring in Kane, bring in Nkunku.
what about Lukaku?
Oh look, I'm not. I wasn't going to. If we're going to include the loan players, Callum Hudson-Odoi, go. Lukaku, go. If we can get 35 plus million for Matson, let him go. Get some money in. I don't know. In terms of other loan players, I don't know. Probably sell off some of the more Deadwood, Bakayoko, SARS, whatever you can get for them. Go.
Would you bring Marcos Alonso back so we could at least get some goals?
No, thank you.
See,
Leave-
never Marcos Alonso will be this bad.
Leave him in Barcelona. Leave him in Barcelona. That's fine. But yeah, I mean they're at minimum the players I'd get rid of. I'll probably miss someone out. If anyone wants to put a player in the comments that I think I missed out, then
I'll put one live on stream. Buying or selling, right?
Yes.
We're
Fine.
selling. Okay,
Selling.
sell Lukaku
Yep,
if we get Harry Kane.
I'd sell Lukaku either way.
I wouldn't.
I know,
No,
Alfred.
I know
You
you
want him
wouldn't.
back.
I know you wouldn't.
No, because I want something different. I want to try again to get some fucking goals. Don't have anyone that offers those at the moment. Might as well try him again if we can't get Kane or, you know,
And can I dispel a myth about Tottenham not doing business with Chelsea? It might be different this time because Levy had a personal issue with Roman Abramovich. So it was more to do with Roman than Chelsea itself.
And technically, Jude Bell went to Tottenham in the January transfer window. So technically, we've done business with them.
Who?
Jude Bell. Do you remember when everyone was
Oh
gassing him up?
yeah.
And now he's gone to Tottenham. Proper Chelsea, proper column that going to Tottenham. But yeah, I think Tottenham have to sell. And I think Chelsea wouldn't hesitate in putting a bid in, because I can see this being the only big player we get. Lavia, I don't think will cost that much if Southampton go down. And I don't think a goalkeeper is going to cost particularly a lot of money. So if you sell Mason Mount for 70 million or 50 million, you sell Gallagher for 30 million, you sell Ruben Loftus-Cheek for 15 to 20, that's your Kane money right there. Plus all the other players you've got to sell.
yeah, that's true. And I honestly think there's a genuine chance to get Kane because, you know, if he wants to reunite with Pochettino at Chelsea, Spurs have already rejected him leaving once. How many times can he do that to a player? You know, like they'll have to think about it and say, "Fuck," you know, we've already prevented this guy from going before. You know,
and the thing is with the United thing is obviously you've got this whole selling thing going on, and you remember how that affected us with transfers last season, and that was done by the time July came. I don't think this United sale is going to be done by the transfer window, and I don't think the Glazers will therefore, if they potentially are going to make a full sale, I don't think they're going to want to spend 100 million on Kane, at least at the beginning of the window. That United take ages with their deals. They take 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. I guarantee Chelsea, if they want Kane, they'll put the money on the table straight away and get it done quicker. United will take too long with it. But Kane, the only place I think Kane could go is Real Madrid, but I don't think he'll go because I think they're still happy with Benzema.
Do you not think Age will eventually catch up with Karim Benzema?
He will, but I think they're going to still at least have him for one more year. And then I think next season they'll look to get a replacement, which I think will be Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
do you still think Bowley still wants Ronaldo?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's actually a good question.
I don't think Ronaldo's covered himself in glory, so I think Bowley. That's the thing. Yes, Bowley might want Ronaldo, but the difference is, unlike the summer, Bowley is now not completely in control of transfers. It's the people that he's employed. So Bowley is not hands-on as much as he was before. And the only reason he was hands-on was because Marina and Cech, Mr. Proper Chelsea Cech himself, said, no, I'm not going to do the job. I'm not going to have a transition period. I'm just going to bugger off now and take loads of money from the club. They left us in a sticky situation after we were already in a sticky situation. So, yeah.
What crazy 12 months we've had, guys.
Sadiq, remember what I said?
12 months we will never have back.
Sadiq, remember what I said at the beginning of the season? I said, prepare for a long and hard season.
But I didn't think it would be like this.
I don't think the thing you envisioned it would be this bad, Matt. Let's be real.
I thought we'd drop out of top 6.
Yeah, but
But
this is worse.
you didn't envision us being 12th in
I didn't.
April.
Yes, all right,
in
Nippin.
May.
I didn't expect us to finish 12th. I expect us to finish outside the top 6. But I think the reason we've finished 12th is because other teams have got so much better and have played so much better.
Do you think?
I think this
Do you
is a
still
very
think
good
we appoint Pochettino?
Yeah, I
Or
think
do you think you
Pochettino-
somehow bottle that as well?
It's not even
No,
guaranteed.
I don't.
It's not
I
even
don't.
guaranteed.
I think it will get done eventually. I think there's stuff that will be discussed, and I think it will take a little. There's no point of announcing it now because they can have stuff verbally agreed, basically agreed in the back of the scenes. Let Poch do some stuff behind the scenes. Bringing Poch in now for the final 4 or 5 games this season is not going to make a blinding bit of difference. So
We'd at least get a few more points.
No, but Nippin, what does a few more points matter?
Guaranteed. Getting above the 40-point mark.
I don't give a
Yes,
shit about Nippin. I don't give a shit about the 40-point mark. But the honest, I'd rather let Poch work behind the scenes and do his homework for next season.
But what are your thoughts on certain Twitter accounts saying that we might not get him? Like saying we might bottle this.
Well, they're just
might.
trying to play on speculation and play on clicks at the moment. There's nothing to say that we're going to bottle this.
No, but we could bottle it because today was final talks. Like,
Yes, no, but anyone could bottle something. I could become a professional footballer. Doesn't mean I will. Nippin could be a Tottenham fan, but he probably isn't.
you sure?
Yeah. Alfred could be the king of England, but he probably isn't.
King Alfred, you know.
I was once.
He was king of positivity.
But my point is that anything could happen. But
look, we were all in line to get Julian Nagelsmann. We bottled it. We were all in line to get Jules Koundé. We bottled it.
Did we bottle Nagelsmann? Or did Nagelsmann kick up a fuss about being in an interview process, which is absolutely a normal thing to do in any job?
So you're saying Nagelsmann had a big ego?
Yes, I was a big fan of Nagelsmann, but the way he reacted was disgraceful. You're not.
I hope he doesn't. You know what? I hope he doesn't come back in the future to ask for the job.
Let me finish this. If you're Pep, if you're Sir Alex Ferguson, maybe if you're Mourinho in his prime, you can walk into jobs and say, I want the job, give me the job. Because they were proper, big, world-class, if I'm going to use Johnny's words, elite gaffers. But as good as Nagelsmann is in terms of potential, he's not that. So just like Nippin does when he was applying to be a chef, Nippin, you have to go for interviews. You have to go through an interview process. You fight
against. Go through a probation period.
Exactly. Sadiq, for your accounting, it's saying you go for an interview process, you get a job. All right, me, I'm self-employed, so I don't have to go through that, but that's a different kettle of fish. But the point is, in normal life, you go through interview processes. And I don't see why people are slagging off Bowley and the owners for doing their due diligence and going through a careful interview process. How can you moan at someone for actually preparing and doing stuff well? All right, yes, Nagelsmann said no, bugger off. But that's Nagelsmann. That's Nagelsmann's fault. We do not blame owners for that. The owners are
do you
doing
not think he just said, I don't want to join a team that's not coaching in the Champions League? Do you not think he just sugarcoated that?
No, because I think he knew that before he even got an interview process that we wouldn't be in the Champions League. He could have said, if that was the case, he could have saved us a lot of time. He actually engaged and wanted. He would don't forget Nippin. He rejected Tottenham, negotiated with us, realised that this was an interview process, come out and then softened his approach, saying, "Oh, I might be interested in Tottenham now." Nagelsmann has disappointed me with that, and that is not the fault of these owners. The whole Enrique thing, you guys know I don't rate Enrique, and actually, funny enough, the reasons I don't rate Enrique was the exact reason the board put in for not wanting Enrique. And I completely agree with them points that he hasn't been a club manager for a while. He hasn't. I would add that he hasn't particularly been impressive in a club outside Barcelona, and he wasn't impressive in his last job.
Roma didn't help because he wasn't going to win anything with Granada. Roma, he had an aging Totti and an aging Daniele De Rossi.
Go on,
the only two people.
Was still a decent enough team, the Roma team.
They were the only two genuine players you could say.
And also, it wasn't at Granada; it was Celta Vigo.
Sorry, yes, Celta.
But Celta Vigo have been quite good in recent years. They could have been a good club. He's not. My point is, outside of Barcelona, he hasn't improved. That Spain squad is a good squad.
Oh, really? Morata up front. Give me a break.
It doesn't have a striker, but actually Morata actually played quite well for Spain. Funny enough, Morata was one of the better players at the World Cup. They have very good players. I mean, they've got David De Gea, Kepa, Roberto Sanchez as goalkeepers. You've got players like Busquets. You've got Pedri. You've got Gavi. You've got Dani Olmo. You've got very good players there. Very talented players.
You're missing one player. Martin Zubimendi.
Yeah, you've got Zubimendi. You've got good centre backs as well. There's a lot of good Spanish players to pick from, and actually there were good Spanish strikers that were playing well in La Liga. People that weren't picked to go that Enrique could have picked.
Gerard Moreno. He's a good one. He's a good striker. No,
Nippin, you're backing up my point that this Spanish squad was not a bad squad, and actually the problem with the Spanish
he was on the bench, and he started a beanpole like Morata up front.
No, but Nippin, this is the point. He was on the bench. Why is Enrique benching him for Morata, who is not a good player in your eyes? The problem with the Spanish squad was it was so rigid. Now, I'm not being funny. We're struggling for goals, and you want a manager that was slagged off for being rigid in his last job.
I'm sorry, I just can't look past a person who want to travel.
Nippin, unfortunately, you're only as good as your last job. In life, you are only as good as your last job. And his last job was a failure. Two of his other previous jobs were failures. The club where he didn't have a failure,
I got cooked
in the world.
I got called. My parents were calling me again.
No worries, nothing.
You need to go home, mate.
I am at home. I'm in my driveway.
Yeah, Nippin, you need to go to bed, and I think all of us need to go because it is an hour gone. And we've had a good discussion.
I'm lagging, bro. I'll catch you lot soon.
Yep.
See you later.
Right, Nippin, big up to yourself.
Yeah.
And
let's end the stream with all three of us.
Yeah, we're ending the stream now.
Okay, I thought you were going to drop me.
No, I'm saying big up to you, Nippin.
Oh, big up every single time, man. Thanks for having me on. And thank you, Sadiq.
And of course, big up to the rest of the people that have continued to watch all the way through. Big up to Danny Music, Irishman, in the comments section, having a nice, debate about stuff. Blade Runner 91 as well. Thank you for tuning in and getting involved. And thank you to everyone that has watched. Make sure you smash the like button. Get us to as many likes as possible on this stream. Make sure you check out the website at www.worldwidechels.com and check out our store at www.worldwidechels.com/store. New merch will be coming out soon. Big up to all you guys for tuning in. Unlike the frauds, Carlito and the rest, for not tuning in, not turning up like our players on the day. We will see you for the next match at the weekend. Who do we actually have at the weekend?
Does it really matter?
Yeah. I'm going to rephrase that question. Who are we going to lose to at the weekend?
I was thinking.
I think United.
What?
We've got United coming up.
Oh, that's right. That
United
game was,
is in June. I think United got moved to June.
June? What do you mean June?
I thought it
No.
was rearranged.
Not to June, Nick, but no one plays in June. What?
Bournemouth.
We're still live.
Yeah, I know we're still live. I was just asking who we're going to lose to before we finished.
We're going to lose to Man United then.
We got like,
Bournemouth.
Newcastle and is it Forest?
Our next two
We're beating
games.
Forest.
Our next
That's
two
the only
games.
game we're winning this season, by the way. We're beating Forest.
Our next two games are Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest.
Oh, okay. We might. Do we get a point in one of them?
We're winning. We're taking all 3 points at Forest.
Now, to be fair, I wouldn't mind beating Bournemouth, and then I wouldn't, and then let's just give 3 points to Nottingham Forest because I'd like Nottingham Forest to stay up.
Oh.
Surely we're capable of 6 points from those two games.
Let's relegate Leeds or Everton. That's fine.
Why would you hate Everton?
My cousin's an Everton fan, and he keeps going on about how Everton have never been relegated. So I really want to just stick it in his face. But and then obviously I don't need you to ask me why Leeds need to go down.
I actually still don't get the rivalry between Leeds and us. It's a 200-mile journey between Stamford Bridge and Elland Road.
You don't get why Dirty Leeds is not a rivalry. Nippin, look up the 1970s and you'll find your reason.
But still, number one enemy for me will always be Arsenal.
Yeah, but number 2, number 3 is definitely Leeds.
Number 2 for me is Man United.
I mean, Man United's further away than Leeds.
But still, who did we compete more with? Man United or Leeds United?
Actually, probably Leeds United. Most of our time we've been with Leeds paired up. To be fair,
were they winning trophies?
Yeah, but we weren't winning trophies before in the 80s and 70s either.
I'm talking about more recent times, in the 90s and the 21st century.
Rivalries are made over a club's history, Nick, not the last couple of years.
Fair enough, but I still consider Man United a rival.
Yeah, but we're not beating Forest, we're not beating United, we're not beating Newcastle. I
think we'll beat Bournemouth, and that's going to be our only win of the season.
If we beat Bournemouth, then I'm just that's it. If we beat Bournemouth, I'll tell you what, I'll watch the Bournemouth game. We'll beat Bournemouth. I'll sail into the sunset until July and come back in July.
I'll tell you who I hope we don't fucking beat somehow. Manchester City.
Oh, we got City as well.
Yes, we got City and United back to back.
Oh, that's gonna give me
both away as well.
No, you.
I've got to double check whether or not they're both away.
We're gonna get absolutely smacked.
All right.
If we somehow shit out against City, I'm gonna be so annoyed.
Yeah.
You know, I might have cursed Liverpool's season from the start.
What do you mean, Nathan?
Just check your DMs when you get the time.
Yeah, we'll do that after the stream. Anyway, we're going to finish because I was supposed to finish 6 minutes ago. Big up to everyone that is still watching, the 15 people that are still watching after we already ended the stream effectively, technically. Anyway, big up to yourself. Up Chelsea. WorldWideChels. Signing out.
Big up.
Everyone. Thank you.